And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's get an update on a trial we have been covering from the very beginning. Of course, the Lori Vallow murder trial there in Idaho. It continued today. Vallow, remember, the so-called doomsday mom accused of murdering her two children. Yesterday, her surviving son took the stand. We talked about that as well. And today, we're learning about why prosecutors are calling this a case of, quote, money, power, and sex. For more, we're joined by Fox 10 Phoenix investigative reporter Justin Lum. He joins me in the Live Now newsroom. Justin, good to see you. What more should we know about what happened at trial today?
As you know, Andrew, you stated it right there, the first word, money. The prosecution has presented that word, that term money, as one of Lori Vallow's alleged motives in this triple murder case. We've heard about the life insurance policies. We've heard about the Social Security benefits throughout trial. Not just insight, though, into Lori Vallow's finances, but Chad Daybell's as well. Chad Daybell, her husband, and one's co-defendant. Now, today, Rexburg Police Detective Chuck Consitis and FBI accountant Mike Douglas took the stand. We rewind back to July of 2019 first, when Lori's fourth husband, Charles Vallow, was shot and killed in Chandler by her brother, Alex Cox. He's also dead now. In the months following that shooting, Lori would receive Social Security benefits on behalf of 7-year-old J.J. Vallow, the autistic boy she and Charles adopted about 5 years prior. Lori was also getting Social Security on behalf of her daughter, Tylee Ryan, after Tylee's dad, Joe Ryan, died in 2018. But investigators say Lori never stopped collecting the checks after her kids were murdered in September of 2019. In fact, she said nothing. And we're talking about thousands of dollars a month. When her alleged co-conspirator, Chad Daybell's wife, Tammy, died in October of 2019 out of nowhere, the FBI says Chad filed a life insurance claim within days. Prosecutors say Chad and Tammy signed to get the insurance maxed out previously, so Chad was paid more than $400,000 in benefits and married Lori in Hawaii. Now, there was a document shown to the jury today, an email from Chad Daybell to a Hawaii realtor just days after he married Lori. It said, quote, "We are interested in seeing this property. Would the owners be interested in leasing this property to a clean couple with no pets or children? Please let us know. Thank you." We spoke to that realtor in 2020, and we caught up with her today about that email she received. It's now evidence in trial.
In my mind, I knew that that meant the kids were no longer among the living. You don't say you have no children if you have living children. I eventually did two things. One is that I sent it to our local Kauai County prosecutor. And the other thing was I posted on a Facebook group, Kauai Rant and Raves. And that's when somebody recommended that I contact you.
Okay, so Justin, there, interesting kind of sound there. You said you've spoken to that realtor, though. So it seems like prosecutors are painting a picture that there is a financial motive to this. Why is that financial footprint, do you think, so important?
Well, they're laying out this financial footprint so they can prove that Lori Vallow indeed didn't want her husband, Charles Vallow, in her life, and that Chad Daybell did not want his wife in his life anymore, and they needed to cash in because there's also the religious aspect, the end of times, how they would have to prepare for the second coming of Jesus Christ. And in order to prepare for the end of the world, you need funding. So this group was basically trying to cash in on these life insurance policies, allegedly. But Lori did not get a dime out of Charles Vallow's life insurance policy because he transferred it, the beneficiary name, to his sister. Chad cashed in, the Social Security benefits came in, and Lori was making about $5,000 a month. That's what we learned today. So hefty amount of money as they vacationed in Hawaii while everyone was looking for her children.
Yeah. So, Justin, the realtor email and her conversation with you, her conversation that was admitted there in court, is that just kind of a, added detail, or are prosecutors really going to hone in on that? Does that just support their case, kind of a detail, a flourish that will help them, do you think?
I think they wanted to really open the eyes of the jury with this simple email. It looks very common. Realtors probably get that all the time. Do you have kids? Do you have pets? What does your family look like? How many people would move into this rental? But at the time, the kids were missing. And Chad is clearly stating there are no children with us. And that was chilling for the realtor as she looks back on it now, as she's seen what's transpired when the kids were found dead in Chad Daybell's backyard, that the whole time since September of 2019, those kids, JJ and Tylee, were dead. And it appears that Lori and Chad were looking for a new life in paradise in November of 2019.
Okay, so let's talk, though, also about some of these law enforcement officers that took the stand today there in Idaho. From what I understand, some of those were from Chandler, Arizona. Why?
Well, Chandler presents some significant evidence. Remember, Lori Vallow has been indicted here in Maricopa County for conspiracy to commit murder in the death of Charles Vallow, her fourth husband. What the prosecution is trying to lay out is a motive, an MO, a pattern of Lori allegedly conspiring in this trail of death. Now, the defense is saying this evidence shouldn't be admitted at all. We shouldn't be talking about this Arizona case because this Idaho trial is at the forefront, and that case in Arizona isn't being adjudicated at all. Well, under a certain Idaho rule of evidence, the prosecution is saying if we can prove there's a motive with Lori Vallow, then we should be allowed to show this. And Chandler's case has text messages, cell phone data, thousands of pages, and just a lot of evidence having to do with Charles Vallow that is trying to set the foundation for their argument in this case.
All right, Justin, just lastly, we always ask you this. What's next? What are you looking for? What should we expect tomorrow?
Well, I am looking to see if any other family members of Lori Vallow testify, specifically her sister, Summer Shiflett, her niece, Melanie Pulowski. Melanie looked up to her from what we've learned. She was a part of this group. She moved to Rexburg after her ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux, was shot at, and Gilbert police will say they believe Alex Cox, Lori's brother, fired his weapon and barely missed Brandon Boudreaux. So there's people that we want to hear from that really know Lori and what they have to know about this inner circle. That's going to be interesting. And these notice of alibis that her defense has filed recently, saying she wasn't there physically when these three victims were dead. She was nowhere in the area. But is that enough to say that she did not conspire with these co-conspirators?
All right, Justin Lum here live in the Live Now newsroom. Justin, we'll definitely be speaking again. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Andrew.
Okay, and right now we also, because it was somewhat difficult to see there, I just want to put up, we made a full screen of this. This was the email Justin was referring to from Chad Daybell to that Hawaii realtor that Justin spoke with, saying, we are interested in seeing this property. Would the owners be interested in leasing this property to a clean couple with no pets or children? Please let us know. Thank you. So interesting, the no children part, the aspect that we just talked with Justin about. All right.